All right.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Bastions and Basilisks. I'm Calvin.
I'm Brandon.
Oh, he didn't pose. So we're still talking about the domains. We have gotten this down to a science. It's a rough science. It's like astrology. We're talking about nature domain today. Yeah,
Pseudosciences.
pseudosciences. So nature domain. Domain spells. First level, animal friendship. Speak with animals. Makes sense. Third level, bark skin spike growth. Fifth level, plant growth, wind wall. Plant growth is a spike growth is a great spell.
Isn't that the one that it's like 15 feet and then it's difficult terrain within it or something?
20 feet, 20-foot radius, difficult terrain. Every square moved is a D4 of damage.
Oh wow, I didn't know that part.
Oh yeah. I mean, let me pull it up.
That's
Grounded 20-foot radius centered on a point within range, twists and sprouts, hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it's 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels, which being pushed through it counts.
that's 8 to 44. I had completely fucked that up somehow.
Transformation of the ground is camouflage to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time of the spell, it at the time the spell is cast, must make a wisdom perception check against your spell save DC to recognize the terrain as hazardous before entering it. Most of my characters would notice.
I've never ever read past the damage in the utility part of
Yeah. Oh, I only
so,
care about the I only care about the damage.
the fact that you have to do a save to notice if it's dangerous is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, but it's
I
only
didn't.
perception, and it's based on the save DC, so it's not super high. But
It
it
is
is
a
it,
skill.
it is yeah, it's a cool nifty little feature of the spell. We're not talking about the spell now. Fifth level, plant growth, wind wall. Wind wall seems a little weird, but seventh level, dominate beast. I'm sure he likes that. Grasping vine, and then ninth level, insect plague and tree stride.
The fuck do you mean I would like that?
No, beast would like that. Dominate beast.
Oh, okay. I was
I'm
like
sure.
super confused. It's like,
I'm
are
sure
you calling me
beast.
Beast? Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about the X-Men.
yeah.
I no, in no way was I on the same page. I was thinking like a random like dire wolf.
Oh,
After you said not me, and I was like,
who's your favorite X
oh,
Men?
you like Beast. I don't have.
Beast is not my favorite X Men.
It is now. I said it.
It is not, and I will
I
fight
honestly
you
don't
to the death.
remember. There's so many.
I'm not asking who your favorite or my favorite is. What you
Oh, me?
yeah,
Nightcrawler.
what's your favorite? Nightcrawler. Okay. Oh, yeah, I wasn't asking you what's my favorite. This is we're not in a relationship. I'm not asking you what my favorite X Men is. What's my favorite X Men?
I honestly don't remember. I can barely remember
What's your
mine. I just said like
what's your
20 seconds ago that I
what's
don't
what,
have one. I
what's
remember
your
Nightcrawler.
yeah? What's your girlfriend's favorite X Men though? That's the real question. Probably Jean Grey. Um, fiery,
I
psychotic redhead. That tracks. Anyway, mine is Mimic, actually.
feel like it's Scarlet Witch for some fucking
She's
reason.
not an X-Men.
She would believe so. I'm thinking like her. Remember that.
Um, she might have been an X-Men at one point. I think she's been an Avenger more. Anyway, this isn't a comic book. But
She
Mimic,
was in the X-Men Legends games.
Calvin Reynolds.
Is that
Or
Mimic's
not,
name?
no, not Calvin. Calvin Rankin.
Is that
Yeah,
Mimic's name?
yeah,
Oh,
that's his
I
actual
don't know
name.
that.
And I think my second is Blink. Her name is Clarice Ferguson. They dated in the comics, Mimic and Blink.
That makes sense.
Acolyte of Nature. At first level, you learn one cantrip of your choice from the Druid spell list. I don't know how
How long
useful
has it
that.
been? How long has it been since it started?
I mean, we're in the 4 minute mark, so we probably barely got the 3 minutes before. Probably not. Although I realized counting the intro, which is like 10, 15 seconds, we get a little bit more of a buffer. Um, you learn one cantrip of your choice from the Druid spell list. This counts as a cleric cantrip for you, but it doesn't count against the number of cleric cantrips you know. You also gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: animal handling, nature, or survival. Decent. One new cantrip, one new skill. The skills make sense.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know how many good druid cantrips there are. Actually, druid. I think druid because druid has. Let's go. Let me look. We're looking.
I find it
Uh,
really awkward that it just gives you a proficiency in heavy armor when druids are known for not being able to.
they can't wear metal armor, but
Yeah,
they're.
but most of
I
you could
know
easily
they're
cover it
they're
in
they're
back like
variant. They're
right?
variants. Also, I
Yeah,
disagree with the whole they can't wear metal armor thing.
I do too. It's stupid because
Um,
wasn't it in like older editions they could.
Control flames, create bonfire, druid craft, frostbite, guidance, gust, infestation, magic stone, mending, mold earth, poison spray, primal savagery, produce flame, resistance, shape water, shillelagh. Shillelagh's a good spell. I think probably as a
Yeah,
cleric that might be a solid. Thorn whip is also a good one. So there's two. Oh, Shillelagh's a bonus action too. That's actually even better. Um,
whack.
yeah, and then also bonus proficiency. You gain proficiency in heavy armor. Would you not interrupt? I'm reading the things. Don't interrupt me. I read. You skipped ahead and ruined it. The magic is gone.
What do you mean? Are you talking
I
about the heavy
I
armor?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't talk about heavy armor yet. You skipped. It's a meh. Armor proficiency is fine if you're going to use it. Like it's the weird. I think they just didn't know what to give them besides acolyte of nature. So they're like heavy armor. Like you're right. Like it doesn't make sense because I think maybe scale mail. I think scale mail might be heavy.
Well,
Uh,
like you said, or like what I was trying to get in, like there are other ways to go around it. Like just flavor text it towards just not metal.
right. Well, you don't even have to. There are variants. Armored shields. Ring mail, chain mail, splint mail, and or it's just plate and splint, and chain mail and ring mail. I mean, splint maybe, chain definitely not chain, definitely not plate. Ring mail definitely not. So splint mail maybe or splint possibly, but like medium makes sense. High, sure. Chain shirt no. Scale mail, sure. Spiked armor, I don't think so. Breastplate, sure. Half plate, sure. Because you can make that out of like boule have breastplate is a thing. My druid, I had a druid that had boule. We killed a druid. We killed the boule, and then we had it somebody make the armor and enchant it for me. That was my
Hell,
Musa. That was my Musator. Um, yeah, it feels like a weird proficiency. Like I said, like getting heavy armor proficiency is never a bad thing because I think they get shield naturally. So it's like, okay. I would. I don't know what. I don't know what else I would give them, but it just feels a little lazy to give them. Channel divinity. Charm animals and plants. Starting at second level, you can use your channel divinity to charm animals and plants. As an action, you present your holy symbol and invoke the name of your deity. Each beast or plant creature that you can see or that can see you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is charmed by you for 1 minute or until it takes damage. While it is charmed by you, it is friendly to you and other creatures you designate.
when you have that one like really annoying like party member, you're just like this wolf's gonna attack him now. He's not designated.
You like all of us except for him.
Fuck Jerry.
Well, I can just picture it's like it's the dick in the group. He's like, "Yeah, get out there, cleric, cleric, go talk to your fucking nerd animals, cleric, druid wannabe." And you're like, "All right, fine. Hey, let's be friends, except for Jerry. Fuck that guy." And then it's like, "What?" And then like it's just this swarm of like wolves rip him
Even
apart.
better, it's just Nick Cage and what is it, The Wicker Man?
Oh,
Not today.
knees! Um, and plants though. That's important because I think assassin vine is a plant.
What is
I
that
think
tree from Harry Potter that just
the
beats the fuck
whomping
out?
willow.
Yeah, just imagine that
Fuck
in D&D.
turfs, but yes, the whomping willow. Um,
I don't
that's
really care for Harry Potter in the first place, so
I
that's all.
know, but it needs to be stated every time we bring it up. I don't want people to think that we stand a turf. We don't.
I literally don't care for Harry Potter in the first place.
It's
I
fine.
never
I'm
dealt
just.
with it.
I
You know,
read it
it's
with.
for like for everyone else.
I read it
I
way
just
back in the day, and I was like, yeah. And then now I'm like, no. Percy Jackson is far superior. Um, better writing, better story, better pizza. Papa John's. No wait, Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. I feel like Percy Jackson would be upset at the fact that we didn't say Papa John's. That motherfucker liked pizza.
Well, no, he'd be upset by Papa John's because he's a true New Yorker.
That's fair. That's
Because that's not real pizza.
you
So
right.
it's like
Speak
I
for
know
every
people that are from that area. All
Yeah,
right.
you're
Yeah.
way up there.
Well, my second wife is from New Jersey, so dampen elements starting at 6th level. When you or a creature within 30 feet of you takes acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, you can use your reaction to grant resistance to the creature against that instance of the damage. I really like that.
I think so far, out of everything this is given, this is the best part so far.
Charm animals and plants
It's good.
is good.
I definitely like that. It definitely goes with the
Acolyte of Nature
theme.
is all right. Bonus proficiencies, meh. Dampen Elements is a really strong ability
That's
because
really good, and it's
it's
your reaction.
it's a reaction, and which means it's limited. That's the limiter is once per round, but
Yeah, so you can't just
once
spam
per
it.
round, and it specifies to the creature against that instance of the damage. So
Yeah, so you can.
technically, every turn, like if everybody in the party succeeds against like an ongoing fire effect, you could use that at your resistance every turn to give the person who hasn't succeeded against it
A
resistance
resistance.
to that instance of the damage. So it's not you're not resistant to the spell or the effect. It's that instance of the damage. So you could
Yeah.
do it every turn. So it can be used, or if they drop a fireball on your party and you pass a saving throw, but the wizard doesn't, and maybe they don't have absorb elements, which is a good spell. Take absorb elements, wizards. But like maybe the fighter, which they can tank the damage, but
But they,
give them
yeah,
resistance, or like yeah, that's it's there's so many things. So and then if you or for this, if you're playing something that I think Azamars are resistant to necrotic and whatever the other
radiant.
positive radiant. Thank you. So if you're resistant to the other two element types, then this kind of gives you when you're taking other elemental damage. Um, no, dampen elements is solid. That is a solid ability.
Yeah, you have resistance to necrotic and radiant damage.
Yeah, so you're an Azamar Nature Domain cleric, and now you have resistance to those two, and then resistance to 5 more as a reaction. Then that leaves psychic force because I think there's 13. Oh, I think I'm always counting the piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing, but I think that's pretty much it. I think that's I might be forgetting one type of damage. Poison damage.
I was going to say poison.
Yeah, poison. Okay, so your poison damage is the only one that you don't have, but poison isn't very common. So you were able to get resistance against probably the 5 most common types of damage. So and if you have resistance to that damage or some other damage, then you're kind of covering all your bases. So it's pretty solid. I mean,
Imagine second breathed.
not as solid as being a I think it's a Kalishtar bear domain or bear druid. Because Kalishtar, I think, have resistance to psychic damage, and then bear path of the bear totem bear have resistance while raging to everything else. Anyway, divine strike, as we've stated, the level 8 powers are always solid, regardless of which. Master of Nature. At 17th level, you gain the ability to command animals and plant creatures. While creatures are charmed by your charm animals and plant feature, you can take a bonus action on your turn to verbally command what each of those creatures will do on its next turn. That could be really strong.
I honestly thought that was like kind of like a implied within this level two version of it.
No, because it's they're friendly to you.
Yeah,
This
I,
this
I
the
that's why I was saying that it's like I thought it was implied, but now that I'm reading, it, I was like, oh, I was just wrong. I was giving it more power than it needed.
right. Well, they're friendly, which means they won't attack you. And it's friendly. They're not neutral, and it doesn't say that after the minute's over, they know that they were charmed by you. So theoretically, if you're nice to them during the minute, they will stay friendly to you.
They won't even notice. They're
They
just
won't
like,
be
eh,
the
you're
charm will
cool.
yeah the charm will they'll be like I'm a little suddenly a little skeptical, but they have been kind of nice for this past minute. Um, so it's like
Just hanging out with a bear.
right? You could hang out with me if you want. Um, but yeah, by doing that, yeah, master of nature, you're commanding them, which is kind of interesting. And it's once again, it's not limited. There's not the amount certain limited by the amount of times you can use it. Probably because I don't know how many beasts and plant creatures there are. Although I like that it's animals and beasts and each beast or plant creature. Why doesn't it charm beasts and plants? Because beasts is like if you're going for the specific category of like the sub like
Yeah.
the type the subtype. Why don't you just call it charm beasts and plants?
To be honest, I don't know. We didn't make it.
I know we didn't. I'm just. This is what we do. We bitch about the little things. I'm
It's one of
pedantic.
those. The issue, the thing is unless we talk to someone who like actually made it, we have no idea. And the thing is that sometimes it legitimately keeps me at wait like awake at night because it's like, why is this so stupid
What
or
the
why is
fuck?
this so good?
What the fuck, Perkins? I'm just blame him for everything. Um, overall, I like this. It's not great. I would say it's kind of middle of the road. Its usefulness, because I mean, animals and plants. There's gonna be animals and plants everywhere. So living, running around doing stuff plants is a lot harder to find than animals.
And just imagine you like befriend a little worm and it's just like trying to slink across with the party on the ground and you just have to like keep being very slow for the worm to catch up now.
You just pick it up. Don't be a
Yeah,
don't
but
be a
that defeats the
douche.
purpose of the worm doing itself in it like in the ground. Like you
Doing
let it enjoy itself.
itself. Okay, it's
Yeah,
kind of weird.
I have been drinking.
Of course you have. Um,
My first time in like two
drink
weeks.
responsibly.
My
Um,
first time in 2 weeks. Okay,
well, this isn't my channel, so we don't have douchebag on here. Um,
he hasn't been on my channel in a while.
um, like I said, the spells that they get, the domain spells are solid. Uh, Acolyte of Nature is okay. One free druid cantrip. I mean, it's another cantrip.
Getting
Uh,
another utility
an,
thing for
another skill, fine, because it never hurts to have a skill. But
a good DM will utilize that.
the armor proficiency is meh.
Yeah, that's
Like this fits well if you're playing in a game that takes place like if you have a ranger and a barbarian or maybe you also have a druid or you don't want to worry about wild shapes so you go cleric instead. I don't know.
yeah. It's like you want to play Druid Light.
Yeah, it really is. Just play a druid. It feels so much easier because you can befriend animals easier. Animals like you.
You just
So
start off and you have you literally turn into an animal if you
you could be a bear. Be the bear. Be the bee.
be bearable.
Be unbearable. But
Those are the bad druids.
but
Those are the
be
ones that make jokes before they turn
but,
into
but
like an animal.
be ungovernable.
That one's better.
That's right. The bonus proficiencies, meh, whatever. Heavy armor. I feel like they just gave it to him because they couldn't think of anything else. Charm beasts and
Absolutely, they
plants.
did.
Charms beasts and plants. I'm calling it that now.
Go ahead.
Is good if it's again if you run into plants or beasts for a minute they like you and people except for Jerry. Fuck that guy. And it doesn't say that they return back to they're like it doesn't they don't like hey you tricked me like type of thing so you could theoretically keep they could still like you after or at
Yeah,
least because they were friendly and you treated them well while they were friendly when they go back instead of being hostile maybe they go back to neutral or
yeah. Like
or it's something that when they go back depending on how you treated them during the charm gives you advantage or disadvantage on trying to naturally it's all subjective.
roll in an animal handling check with advantage.
Right, or disadvantage. Dampen elements is a really good ability.
That is the best part of the
It
entire
feels it
skill.
feels weird. I guess because those are all natural elements and it makes sense.
I
Um,
mean, technically poisons are too. Like there's a
that's
lot of
true. They should add poison.
no, there's a difference between I'm using man-made as like a term because made by sentient creatures specifically concocted for these things, not like animal-based byproducts or made from plants, poisons type like a thing
Right,
where you ingest it.
like peaches in a can. They were put there by a man. I got you.
Yeah. Versus milking like a fucking pit viper or some shit and then getting bit by it or something.
Right. Well, technically, that's venomous. But no, dampen elements is a strong, probably their best ability of everything that it gets. That's probably their best ability because that's always going to be come into some use. You might get some use out of charm beasts and plants. You might get, which then might get some use out of master of nature. It's just weird that your level 2 and then your level 17 are very connected. So you're just hoping.
Yeah.
So as the GM, you have to throw plants and beasts at them and hope. Like, huh.
Hope they actually pay attention to the channel
But like,
divinity.
what beasts? Like, I think a T-Rex is CR7. I think that's the highest beast you run into. So, I mean, who doesn't want to befriend a T-Rex though?
I almost did in one campaign.
I think there are 7. Oh yeah, because you can't turn into them with wild shape, but you can with polymorph.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so you can turn into an Ankylosaurus, but not a T-Rex. Well, because they have like 150 hit points, they have like 20 con, so you can stay in your T-Rex form for quite a while.
And then just go right back into it.
Yeah, Dampen Element's really good. Divine Strike, always good. That one does. Oh, damn, I didn't even read it. You can choose to do either Cold, Fire, or Lightning, which is pretty solid. That's actually a lot better than the other ones because you're given a choice between 3 elemental damage types. So that's actually better than most Divine Strikes, which only give you one choice. And like I said, Master of Nature is solid because you're like, hey, you're my friend. Go eat Jerry. But I'm on your team! Fuck you, Jerry! You know. All right,
We
stop.
paid.
All right, stop
We paid
eating
for you, Jerry.
All right, stop eating Jerry. Go eat the bad guy now. So although clerics get a decent amount of bonus actions, so it's that once again that's probably circumstantial. That maybe it's some of the ones that because once they take damage, the charm ends. So
Yeah.
that's where you're charmed. Go bite that guy, and then the guy's like, I'm not fighting a wolf. You're the one that commanded it. I know that it's like it's not even friendly to you anymore. Go beat its ass. Jerry's like, stop attacking me. Go eat that asshole.
And he's like, okay.
They're like, okay. And you're like, oh, God damn it, Jerry. Again?
This is why we don't like you.
This is why we don't like you, Jerry. I feel bad if Jerry watches my channel. Yeah, no, that's
We're just gonna choose different names every episode now.
every episode. We're gonna have to. We're like hurricanes. We're just having a list. That means that next episode is gonna have to be a female or a woman's name. If we're gonna, because I think they
also Jerry.
Also Jerry. That's true. That's true. It could be. There also are because Jerry Ryan played 7 of 9 on Star Trek.
It is with an I.
No, I hope she has eyes. So I can get lost in them.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, boy. So yeah, Nature Domain, decent. I think some of its abilities kind of but then like Dampen Element brings it up above.
Really strong.
So I'd say like a 5 or a 6. 3 bastions and 3 basilisks. Just kidding.
We never actually solidified how that works.
Well, no, because the idea was that based on mechanics versus role play, but like none of the abilities, like this one has abilities that would be useful for role play. The charm beasts and animals would be useful for role play, and then the master of nature also would sort of be useful for role play. But then you have the life domain, and you're like heal. You're like cool. None of these are useful for role play, so you gotta keep them separate. You gotta keep them separated. Nature domain.
This episode is just so off the tracks.
Well, we haven't seen each other in a while. Yeah, I like it. I'll give it probably a 6 because you're still a cleric. So you still have,
you're still doing cleric things.
Domain
Just hang
spells
out
are
with a lot
great.
of druids.
Domain spells are great. You got so you got a solid bench of spells added, and add on top of that some druid spells. Like that's never a bad thing. Druids have some pretty solid spells, so I like it. All right,
Oh,
that's it for this episode. I've been Calvin.
I'm a disappointment.
To somebody, I'm sure. I don't know. To your family and your friend. This is an intervention now. This is suddenly an. I'm just kidding. All right.
No, Carrie gets
Bye.
to leave.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And now you get to listen to the outro song. And that's the outro song. Yeah!